Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We are counting down to an important moment in the race to become the next mayor of Detroit. Thank you so much for being here at 6 o'clock. I'm Kimberly Gill.
Good evening. I'm Karen Drew in for Ty Steele tonight. Now, in 1 hour, 4 of the top contenders for the city's highest elected office will take the debate stage at Wayne State University. You can watch here on Local 4 and Local 4 Plus. It's your chance to hear where the candidates stand on the issues that matter most ahead of the August 5th primary vote. Jason Goldthorpe will moderate that debate. He is standing by live as the final preparations take place. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening to you, Karen and Kim. And let me just give you a little lay of the land here where we are in the Valet Jazz Center at Wayne State University. The podium's shined up for our 4 candidates here. As the moderator, I'll be over here asking some questions. We have questions from our media partners as well. But the questions, by the way, I always like to point out, they're not my questions, they're yours, straight from Detroiters about the issues that matter to them, what they want to hear answered as we get closer to inaugurating a new mayor. And of course, we have the time cues. They have, the old 60 seconds to answer a question. They just drew moments ago for the order of opening statements and closing statements. So that part is kind of in the books. All the candidates are now in the building, and people are starting to filter in here and fill this 300-seated auditorium. Real quickly, wanted to mention the 4 candidates. We know there are 9 in the race here. Here's how we chose them. We really want to be above board when we let people know this, that we put a poll out in the field with the help of our media partners, the Detroit News. The Glenn Gariff Group conducted that poll, and the threshold was 10%. We asked Detroit primary voters, who are you voting for right now? Anybody who got that 10%, including the margin of error 4%, were invited to this debate. And the 4 who will be here, Santiel Jenkins, James Craig, Mary Sheffield, Solomon Kinlock Jr. are the only 4 who met that threshold. Everything starts at 7 o'clock tonight. We're very excited as folks start piling in here. We're excited for a lively discussion. You can bet that. We'll see you in a little while, guys.
Okay, looking forward to it, Jason. We appreciate it so much.
Again, you can watch the debate tonight at 7 only on Local 4 and Local 4 Plus. This also means Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air at their normal times of 7 and 7:30 on MeTV. Both programs will return to Local 4 tomorrow night.
2 Michigan lawmakers are named on the hit list of Vance Bolter, the man accused of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses Saturday morning.
Yes, U.S. Representatives Debbie Dingell and Hillary Scholten of Grand Rapids are among the 45 Democrats targeted on that list. That's according to federal prosecutors. Scholten has canceled a planned town hall tonight out of an abundance of caution, while Dingell confirms, knowing she was a target, she did tell me she has no other statement at this time. Bolter is now in custody and charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and second-degree attempted murder.
A former Macomb County Sheriff's deputy will have to report to jail later this week to serve his sentence for assaulting a teenager in 2023. Derek Reed pleaded guilty to assault and battery and willful failure to uphold the law. Today, Reed was sentenced to 45 days in jail and 18 months probation for slapping a 14-year-old who was being transported in his patrol car. Reed was fired when the incident came to light. He's been ordered to report to jail Friday.
More than 5 years after the Edenville Dam failure, hundreds of central Michigan residents are calling on the governor to reach a settlement. The new letter already gaining close to 800 signatures. In May of 2020, that catastrophic floodwaters caused more than $200 million in damages, destroying countless homes and leaving many without a lake. Lauren Kostick is live for us this evening. Lauren, what exactly are these residents asking for?
Well, Karen, they want some accountability. This is that letter here. Every one of these 800 signatures having a unique experience of that day. But the one thing they all have in common, they want this painful chapter to be over.
Everyone feels bad that this happened. But what about taking responsibility?
Those frustrations outlined in a new letter to the governor and signed by more than 770 other flood victims. in it, saying this year marks 5 years since the devastating event. Yet we and thousands of our fellow Michiganders continue to suffer without any support or compensation from the state of Michigan and your administration.
They want attention. They want people to know that this is still a problem.
The failure of the Edenville Dam causing tens of thousands to evacuate in May of 2020. In the end, wiping out neighborhoods and leaving lakefront homes without a lake. Just last month, we returned to the area where we met Mike and Lisa Callan.
Did you ever think you were going to be standing here 5 years later, still talking about this, still pushing for some kind of answer, help, accountability?
No, I didn't think it was ever going to come down to this.
Reports and investigations confirmed the dam failure was preventable. The former owner even found liable for millions of dollars, but no resolution yet from the state.
Have you heard anything back from the governor's office since sending this letter?
No, we have not. We will continue to litigate our case. We have a trial in January, and we expect to proceed to the trial.
In the meantime, victims sharing this message for the governor.
We're still here and we're still waiting.
Yep, still waiting. And again, those flood victims asking the governor to acknowledge the state's role in all of this and also help negotiate a fair settlement. We did just get in touch with someone in her office. They did not answer any of our questions, instead directing us to the AG's office. So we're still trying to get some answers.
We just lost your mic, Lauren, so we're going to take it from you. Having a lake house without a lake is very difficult. We'll check back. Thanks, Lauren.
Another really sad report to give you tonight. A toddler is dead after he was found in the Clinton River in Macomb County earlier today. Maxwell Anderson was reported missing about 11 a.m. from his home on Mance Street. That's near South River Road and Jefferson. Just about 30 minutes later, investigators found him in the river 50 feet from his home. Police say the water was 5 feet deep at the location where he was discovered. And despite life-saving efforts, Maxwell was pronounced dead. The investigation is ongoing. We'll let you know when we learn more.
We are tracking the spots that you are most likely to crash on I-96. Our investigative team digging through 5 years of data to get that answer for you. We did a deep dive to reveal where you're most likely to crash, including worst days and months. Now at 5:30, we showed you the fourth worst spot for crashes, I-96 Express to the M39 Southfield Freeway interchange. We also uncovered the third spot. That would be I-96 Greenfield Road to Wyoming Avenue. Now, let's look at the two worst spots for crashes and drivers. These are in the suburbs. You've seen the headlines, crash after crash on I-96. They happen often and happen in all different places. But that had us thinking, where are you most likely to crash? Buckle up. We're diving into the data and hitting the road. This is I-96, eastbound from just before Novi Road into that I-696 M5 interchange. It's the second top spot drivers are most likely to crash. I posted this on my Facebook page asking which parts of I-96 you dread driving. Colleen Nader even called the intersection the stuff of nightmares. You're not alone, Colleen. We broke down data from 2019 through 2023. This 2-mile stretch saw 815 crashes, and half of those reported were rear-end crashes.
275 shares the name with 96.
I get confused on that.
Exactly. So actually, when at that point, 696 picks up your east-west route, and then 275 is also 96 that then reconnects when you get into the Livonia area.
So we are headed into the spot that sees the most crashes on I-96. We went through 5 years of crash data. I-96 between 7 Mile to the M1496 interchange. Adding to the confusion, this stretch of I-96 shares a name with I-275. I actually sometimes get nervous driving this area because I think I'm going to make a wrong decision at the last second. Between 2019 through 2023, there were 978 crashes in this 2-mile stretch. So why are there more crashes here? Well, it's a little complicated, literally.
First of all, you got a lot of traffic that exits at 8 Mile. Then the rest of your traffic going south between 7 Mile down to the interchange with 96 to the east, M14 to the west. And those ramps split.
Do you know which lane you need to be in? Well, that's great, but you still need to keep an eye out for drivers who don't know where they're going.
So if you're not sure where your road is, you go from either the far left, turns out you need to be on the far right, which is 4 lanes over, and we get the side swipes, we get the rear ends, or do you stay on 275 to keep going south? So you really have three choices at that point, and that's why we do get a lot of crashes.
It's those last-minute mistakes that can cause a crash. There's a breakdown of the data. October saw the most crashes with 108. April saw the least with 70. Crashes were more likely to occur on a Friday, least likely to occur on a Sunday. And 5 o'clock in the evening was the time of day that saw the most crashes.
Four spots. This map shows all four spots where you are most likely to crash on I-96. If you take a look, 2 are in the city, right there, number 3 and 4, and then 2 are in the suburbs, as we just named. The second one in Novi, the first one there in Plymouth. Scan the QR code on your screen. When you head to clickondetroit.com for my full investigation, you'll be able to see our deep dive into that data. Like this pie chart, we broke it all up into different sections so you can exactly understand what happens, like the types of crashes reported. 46% of these crashes are single vehicle crashes. 28% were rear end crashes, and then side swipes were 21%. A lot of information there posted on clickondetroit.com.
Staying on the same subject of roads and crashes, MDOT has a plan aimed at reducing crashes and travel time along I-96 with some new rules for the on-ramps. New ramp meters will take effect later this week on 8 entrance ramps to I-96 between Novi Road and Milford Road. Ramp metering, if you don't know, is a system of managing traffic on the freeway entrance ramps. So soon, you're going to start seeing traffic lights designed to assist drivers merging onto the freeway during peak traffic times. This is a rendering of what it will look like here. MDOT says the meters will not only reduce stop-and-go traffic, but also reduce crashes and make for shorter travel times. On Wednesday at 6 p.m., the ramp meters will begin to go into operation one at a time over the next couple of weeks.
We need some help over there, right, Kim? When I was doing that story, I saw you like, I get confused too.
I do too. It is a mess. I've driven out that way dozens of times, and every time I still get anxiety.
I do.
Yeah,
Well, no anxiety on the weather because it is gorgeous out there.
That's right. Let's get over to Ron Hilliard. It is nice.
Very nice. You know, Kimberly, Karen, it is hot all across the country. We are seeing those temps right now in Metro Detroit, about 80 degrees. That's hot, but it is not nearly as hot as what some other parts of the country are seeing right now. 93 in Dallas, 99 as you go into New Mexico, 113 in central portions of Arizona. We are going to be seeing hotter conditions right here in Metro Detroit as well. So it is a pleasant day when it comes to the sunshine for people who like the warmth and sunshine, but we do have some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. Those will be arriving on Wednesday and maybe a pop-up shower tomorrow. Now, in the meantime, if you want to enjoy this warmth, you can go out there and do pretty much any outdoor activities and it'll be just fine. Now later as we get into the week and by the weekend, some of that heat could be potentially dangerous for some people. We're going to be in the 70s this evening going into the nighttime hours. In the 60s still. It is going to be pretty nice out there. Now I'm going to talk about the warmth on the way, the storms in our forecast, and some really hot weather. And there's the hint right there, 90s are in the forecast.